Hello, this is Ray Watkins here, and I have my participant here, Anita. And Anita, I'm going to be taking you through the functional movement screen today. So the functional movement screen, what it does, it's a screening for balance and stability, also looking at joint mobility as well. It's a way to see if that your body uses some compensatory movement patterns to help decrease your injury risk. So we want to see what those movement patterns are, and we're going to put a score on that so that we can evaluate that and design a program for you. All right, does that sound good?
Yes.
Right, so the first movement pattern we're going to go through, Anita, is the overhead deep squat. So this is going to be a total body mobility assessment, and we're going to be using this dowel here. So what I'll have you do first, I want you to go ahead and stand with your heels back against the board here, feet shoulder width apart. And then what I'll have you do is you're going to grab this dowel right here, and I'll have you go ahead and place it on the top of your head for me there. So we're going to make sure that your elbows are at 90 degrees, just how they are right here. I'm going to have you go ahead and extend your arms up overhead. All right, now with those arms over your head, keeping the dowel over your head, I'm going to have you go ahead and squat down as low and comfortably as you can 3 times for me. There we go. All right, so next what I'll have you do is you're going to keep these hands overhead. I'm going to have you place your heels up onto the board for me. That's it. All right. All right, I'm going to do 3 here. 2. There we go. Thank you very much. All right, so now we're going to move on to our second movement here, and this is going to be the hurdle step. So with the hurdle step, we're going to look at your single leg stability, and we're going to see how your hips are moving there. So to get this measured to your height, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take what we call your tibia length measurement. So I'm going to have you just stand with both feet together for me, just like this. I'm going to use the dowel here, and I'm going to be feeling for that tibial tuberosity, which is right here, and that lines up with 16 inches. So I'm going to have you go ahead and step behind the board if you could for me. There we go. So then we're going to place this red string here at 16 inches. So what I'll have you do now, Anita, is I'm going to have you stand with your feet hip width apart. Your toes will be touching the board. There we go. Perfect. Now I'm going to have you hold the dowel here. And instead of having it overhead like the first one, I'm going to have you just rest it right on your shoulders on the back side. There we go. All right, so I'm going to have you right there. So what I'll have you do is, starting with your right side, I'm going to have you take your right foot, you're going to bring your knee up and place your heel on the other side of the board and bring it back. And then bring it back. Good, there's one. I'll have you do it 2 more times on that right side. Good. Any pain or discomfort with that? All right, so now we'll move to the left side here. Very good. Any pain or discomfort with that movement?
No.
No. All right, very good. All right, take this one. All right, I'm going to step with your right leg up and over. Very good, and we'll start with the left side now. That's all right. Go ahead and bring that foot back for me. One more time. All right. All right, so our next movement is going to be the inline lunge in here. So this is going to test some balance and stability in your hips and your core, and looking at lower body stability. So what I'll have you do is I'm going to have you go ahead and place your right toe at the 0. That's it. Now since our tibial length was at 16, I'm going to have you just hold on to this for me and place your left heel at the 16. So your left heel will be at the 16, a little further out. There we go. All right. Now, what I'll have you do is you're gonna put that dowel behind your back with your right hand on top and left hand underneath. So I'm gonna right hand on top, left hand underneath. All right, we'll go ahead and try again.
My heel or toe?
Your heel.
Let me do this way. Oh, this is embarrassing. Okay.
All right, we'll go ahead. The functional movement screen is going to focus on some upper body movement. We're going to look at your shoulders here. We're going to look at your shoulder mobility. First, what I'll have you do is I'm going to have you go ahead and stand right where I'm at. Okay? And I'm going to have you place both hands out just like this, opening up your hands. I'm going to take the dowel here and I'm going to measure your hand length here. This hand length is at 7 inches. All right, now staying in that position, what I'll have you do is I'll have you go ahead and make fists just like this here. Very good. Now with that, I'm going to have you make a 180-degree turn and face the opposite way. That's it. Now from this position, I'm going to have you place your right hand behind your neck as far down your back as you can. Very good. Now your left hand will come underneath. We'll see how close those fists are to each other. All right, with that first measurement here, we have 7 inches. I'll have you bring your arms back out nice and easy. All right, now what we'll do is we're gonna bring your left on top, right underneath. And with this measurement, we have 11 inches right here. So we're gonna do each of those one more time. So I'll have you bring both hands out. Right hand will be on top, left hand underneath. 7 inches, bring that back out. Left hand on top, right hand underneath. And we're at 10 inches there. Very good. All right, I'm gonna have you go ahead and turn back around for me. Okay. Now what we're going to do is a quick shoulder pain clearance test. What I'll have you do is place your right hand on your left shoulder for me. There you go. Keeping your fingertips on your shoulder. I'm going to have you relax your left arm. I'm going to have you bring your right elbow up towards your eyes. There you go. Back down. Do that a couple more times. Any pain or discomfort going through that there?
No.
No? Very good. Let's try the other side. Left elbow up. There we go. Back down. Elbow up. Any pain or discomfort there?
No.
All right, looking good. All right, moving along with our functional movement screen here. Anita, next what we're going to do is look at the hamstring and hip mobility with the active straight leg raise. So what I'll have you do is I'm going to have you lay down flat on your back with your head there, feet down this way. There we go. And I'm going to have you go ahead and relax that there. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this board here and I'm going to place this underneath your knees with your legs flat out on the mat. There we go. All right, we're set right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to palpate for what we call your anterior superior iliac crest. So that's big words for that front bony part of your hip right here. So what I'll have you do is, can you feel that bony part for you? Yes, there we go, right here. That's it right here. All right, you can go ahead and relax your hands now. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the dowel right here at that anterior superior iliac crest. So for the active straight leg raise, I'm going to have you keep your right leg nice and flat so it stays in contact with the board. Your left leg will be nice and straight, and I'm going to have you raise that left leg as far as you can. Bringing it back down. There's one. We're going to do that 2 more times. There we go. Very good. Now we're just going to switch sides here. So I'm going to have you keep your left leg flat, right leg nice and straight. Go ahead and bring that up. Midpoint here for score 2. One more time. and back down. Very good. All right, so next test, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do trunk stability push-up. This is gonna be looking at your core stability. So what I'll have you do is I'm gonna have you lay flat on this mat with your legs facing down that way. Very good. All right, so I'm gonna have you place your hands about a hand width wider than they are now. Then I'm gonna have you slide your thumbs up so they're at chin level. So I'm gonna bring those up just a little bit. And here we go with your fingers facing straight ahead. There you go. Now with your elbows up, feet into the ground, balls of your feet into the ground. Just like a push-up here. I'm gonna have you attempt to do one push-up from the ground, keeping your back as flat as possible. Ready? And go. All right, back down for me. Now what I'll have you do is I'm gonna have you bring your thumbs down to your clavicle or your collarbone level. There we go. We're gonna try to attempt to lift the whole body up all the way, keeping your back as flat as possible. And back down. Very good. Once we finish that trunk stability push-up, we're gonna do a pain clearing test for your low back here. So what I'll have you do is I'm gonna have you actually stay in that position, place your hands underneath your shoulders, and I'm gonna have you push your chest up, keeping your hips down. Very good. Any pain or discomfort in that low back?
No.
No pain or discomfort. Very good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at your rotary stability here, and I'm going to have you into a tabletop or a 4-point position with this board right in between your hands and knees. So your knees are underneath your hips just like they are here. I'm going to have you place your hands down on the ground right here. All right, so that your hands are underneath your shoulders. Very good. Now I want to make sure that your knees are touching the board. So you're going to be straddling the board there. Now I'll have you bring your hands in so that your thumbs are touching the board. Very good. So for the first phase of this test, we're going to start on the right side. And I'm going to have you extend your right arm and right leg at the same time, and then bring that right elbow to right knee together. So you're going to extend both of those out, and then bring the right elbow and right knee together underneath your body. So your weight will be on the left side and you'll be moving the right side. And your hand, your foot will be off. That's all right. There we go. All right, we're going to move to phase 2 of it here.
Wait.
That's all right. Now phase 2, what I'll have you do, is you're going to extend your right arm and left leg. Now bring that right elbow to your left knee underneath your body. Very good. There's one. Do that 2 more times. One more. Elbow to knee. All right. So now what I'll have you do is you're going to do the same thing you just did, Anita, but on the other side. So left hand, right leg, extending out, and then bring it in. 1, 2, and 3. All right. All right,
Okay.
So what we're doing is a pain clearing test for your low back here after the rotary stability test. So I'm going to have you go ahead and bring your hands underneath here. Now I'm going to have you sit your hips back towards your heels. Now drop your head and assist your hands up forward here. That's it. Relax that head. Now, outside of maybe a good stretch in those lats, any pain or discomfort here in your low back?
No.
No pain or discomfort. Very good.